Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. It's 7 o'clock. Oh, I gotta say who's present. We have Chris Johnson on Zoom, Liz on Zoom, Sean, Kathy, I'll get it right one day, Steph, and Shelley. And Andrew Berry is unavailable.
Sends his regrets.
And that's it, I believe. The next one would be, is there any peculiar interest? I don't see it. Is the acceptance of the agenda, is there any issues?
I'll move it. I don't see anything. No.
Second?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Yeah.
Chris, you in favor of the? Okay, thanks. It's passed. Is there, we need an acceptance of the previous minutes?
Liz,
Okay. Steph?
Yeah.
Steph? All in favor?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, so the business on the things for tonight. Number one is the skate. My job will be the firewood, and I have that already. I believe, Liz, you have the hot chocolate.
I have the hot chocolate and the cups and the water. What I'm going to require from you, James, is the big coffee urn from the community center. And could you make sure it's working before you bring it out? That it does heat up water. I'm also going to need an extension cord to go inside the ice hut. And I'm going to need a table. The other thing I'm wondering is what time will we be meeting over there? Because it takes a while for that water to heat up in the urn.
I'm not sure.
Well,
Anybody?
what time do you plan on bringing the firewood and that over? 5:30?
I was probably gonna bring it over during the day.
Okay,
And
well then, if you bring the other items over for me, I can go ahead over and turn get the water going. But I will need the table set up and I'll need everything there, and I'll need a key to get into the ice rink.
yeah, I don't have one of those either.
So the ice rink's open.
Okay, so if I went over there at 5 or 5:30, I could get in?
Yep, it's open all
Okay.
day. I've tested both of them to make sure, and they both work. So we'll bring them both over so you can have hot water in both, just in case.
Great, and an extension cord and a table.
Yep, we have fold-up tables at the fire hall, and we have extension cords there as well.
Okay, great. And if you could have if you're not going to be there at 5 or 5:30, Will, could you have the table set up for me, please?
Yep.
Right outside of one of the windows, so that the extension cord isn't going to be a trip hazard, wherever there's a plug-in, do you know what I mean?
Yep, that's not a problem.
Okay, great. I'll talk to you before that anyway, so.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be able to make the event, but I will get the firewood there. Sean, you'll drop the pits off.
Yep.
And wherever you put the pits, I'll put 2 piles of firewood. Or I'll put 2 piles of firewood, and that's where the pits are gonna go.
You put the firewood and I'll put the fire pit.
Yeah. What else am I missing? The music.
It's done, ready to go.
Okay. John's not that.
The Flyers were taken over to the school last week. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. So they should all went home.
Okay,
Yeah, they went home today.
right on. Is there anything I'm missing or have I forgotten about?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Will, could you get some more of those, the flyers on Facebook so we can start circulating them again as we get closer to the event?
Most definitely.
Okay. And the fireworks are all ready to go?
Yep, they'll be all ready to go. They're in a safe location. And shooting them at 8:30.
8:30, great.
Alright. Is there anything else I'm missing or anything we didn't cover?
No, I think everything's, we will be able to have the washrooms open, correct?
Yeah, they're open up right now.
Okay,
They
great.
opened on January 31st.
Okay, good. We'll also need, oh, sorry, we'll need a garbage can there too.
Yeah, I think they have them at Public Works.
I believe there's a big one in the ring shack.
Yes, I think there is, yes.
If we get an extra one, it won't hurt, I don't think, to have one in and one out. Okay. So if that's good and we've covered everything. Paint night. I'm gonna pass it over to Sean and see how he's made out.
So I made contact with someone about hosting the paint night. She suggested a paint afternoon, I guess. The 19th between 1 and 3, which if we decide we want to do it in the evening, we can work that out. The class would be approximately 2 hours long. Should require half an hour before and after to set up. The community center would provide the tables and tablecloths and chairs and the Zoom setup. She supplies brings all the art supplies. She can make a few samples of paintings that the group would follow. I suggested that she would know better than me to whatever suits a large group of people. So yeah, the class will be held virtually. The art supplies are included in the price of the ticket. And it'd be $45 for in-person tickets. You can do the Zoom without her supplying the paint supplies, it'd be $20 or $45 with all the supplies. She requires a minimum of 8 people in person for the tickets. And for Zoom, it can be unlimited. The tickets can be sold ahead and then the art supplies can be picked up ahead of time if you want to do it virtually. And the other request she would need is someone to assist with the Zoom setup and if we were doing the hybrid model.
I'm out on the computer end of things, but
I'll make sure it's set up one way or another.
That's if we go with a hybrid route or if we just go in person, whichever.
Sean, if we wanted to advertise this on Facebook, could she give us a sample of, like often I see these when they're advertised, this is what we'll be painting. She would show a picture of it.
Yep, she said she could do a few samples and we could pick one or just let her come up with one, whatever we decide.
Well, I guess we don't have a lot of time. It's not that far off.
Yeah. Because she said she'd do some advertising too with the people, like with her own thing, and we could advertise and
Okay,
How many people are we allowed in the community center right now?
Half, so to be safe, you say 30 to 40 to be safe. That'll give everybody lots of room to move.
Okay. Just, would that be something we put on the flyer?
Limited space and in-house, in
Yeah.
person, yeah, we'd
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. Cause I would be worried. If it sells
And it
out.
would probably, it'd have to be first come, first served.
Yeah, now this more or less just an adult night thing, or could younger people do it?
I mean,
I don't know anything about it, so that's why
I've
I'm
never
asking.
been to one either, I'm not very artistic.
Well, I know when I mentioned this, to some of the people at our work, they said their one daughter wants to do it. She's 10. I don't know if it's,
I mean, if you wanna pay for your 10-year-old to come to our class, why not?
yeah, well, that's, I want to make sure that,
If a mom and daughter, or father and daughter, or
Yeah.
parents, or anyone wants to come out and come on out and
okay,
see if you can follow along.
good. She's not teaching stick people, so I'm on.
No. I don't think I'll get the paintbrush or that. So if we wanna go ahead with it, I can contact her and then like I say, I can get a sample. And then we can put that out there. This is to try and work on, I guess, a post or something online for it.
yeah, it won't take, I don't think it'll take long to get 8 people signed up.
No, I don't think so. I think
No.
the 8 should be easy.
So March 14th, we'll be allowed to have social gatherings indoors to 50. So we'll be able to have 50 people indoors.
Okay,
And the event's on the 19th, right?
Yep, I was just looking at the staging coming out for the province.
Okay,
So we're allowed 50.
yeah, 15 here is pretty tight. No, okay,
Because we'll set them up like around the room.
okay,
I think I would suggest, just for everyone's comfort, when people are signing up, if they're signing up, like if there's a group of 3 people coming together, sign up as a group of 3, so the 3 tables are together, and then like each group is still distance. Instead of having every table 6 feet apart, if 3 people are coming from the same household or wherever they want to paint side by side, then that group can be tight together and then 6
Yeah, it
feet to
doesn't
the
have to be the
next
same
group.
household, it's just the same group
Yeah,
is the way the thing was wrote this time. So yeah, that's perfect idea.
because otherwise there's just gonna be one table every 6 feet scattered along.
If you guys are okay with it, I'll get Kristen to take the bookings again. She's been looking after the Halloween and Christmas and she has quite a great format going.
okay.
So I can ask her, you guys are okay with that?
yes, yeah,
Because then they can collect all the money and
Okay.
and we don't have to be responsible for it.
Okay. Then we need to book her then.
Under an email, right?
Okay, yeah, send her an email, tell her she's in. So she needs half an hour before, half an hour after.
Just to get set up.
Yeah.
So sorry, Sean, you said something about 1 to 3?
That was just a time suggestion she had. We can change that if we want, or 1 to 3. I don't know what time it is best for painting.
I don't know. I don't have any artistic bone in my body. Yeah,
So that's a Saturday
yeah,
afternoon. I don't know if it would.
I think we could do that.
I would think so, yeah.
That would make more sense to me.
I think you should be here, Sean. Since you organized it, you should show your talents off.
Oh, I can be here, but I don't think I'll have a paintbrush. You never know, maybe I will. Could
Like
have a-
surprise yourself.
Could have a hidden artistic ability that I didn't know.
There you go.
good nerd.
Okay, let's see.
Okay. Would it be too much to ask Randy to set the tables up, or do we gotta come do it ourselves?
Oh, we'll, I'll get somebody to help them just because they're heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have it all set up before that.
Okay.
Okay, so March 19th, 1 to 3. And she's gonna give us something for a picture or something to put on the
Yeah.
flyer,
Yeah.
because we'll get advertising probably shortly.
And the price is 45 in person?
Yeah, 45 in person with, and that's, she supplies everything.
Yeah.
If you want to do Zoom with all the with everything supplied, it's $45. If you want to do Zoom at home and you have your own paint supplies, it's $20.
Do we want to go with the Zoom option? Like, I feel like there's a lot of online options out there, and like bringing people together in the community, I think, is more of a solution than necessarily having another distanced event.
I agree with you, Chris. I was about to say the same thing. And plus then we have to have somebody like Will come and run the Zoom for
Yeah.
2 hours. So I don't think we'll have any trouble finding a minimum of 8. So why bother offering the Zoom option?
No, that works. Just go strictly in person.
I think people enjoy it more.
Yes.
And 50 people, that's quite a bit. It's not like we're only allowed 10 in here.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, I didn't want to exclude anybody that's still nervous coming out.
Yeah, that's what we had originally thought. That's why we had talked with the hybrid format, or depending on restrictions and everything, but
Like, I don't see in the next month things turning around the other direction, but
If
We
they're
can
still
be-
doing- Sorry,
go ahead.
if they're still doing social distancing and stuff, I mean, it's like going to a grocery store, you're still separated.
I agree.
like I say, we'll just have them, try and give them flyers. Register as a group if you want to.
Yeah, and it'd be the same as everything else. So as they're sitting down, they can take their masks off in their group, but if they move around, they'll have to put a mask on. So if they use the washroom or go to get anything, you just put your mask on and
And it just makes sense for people who come together to stay together.
yeah, no, that's a great idea.
Okay, Zoom is it.
So if you want to get us some information, we'll start working on the flyer.
Like I say, I'll get a sample or a couple different samples and even just check by email and see what everyone. Like I say, I don't have the artistic ability.
Now, would you like to start advertising that before the skate or after, immediately after the skate?
I would say after the skate. I don't want to send it confused.
If you do it before the skate, people might talk about it at the skate kind of thing and get a little buzz going with it, but
You want to start advertising it at the skate? And then go.
whether at the skate or like a couple days before, just so that
Okay,
people know about it, so that they might chat about it kind of thing.
You can make sure George chats it up,
perfect.
right?
Okay.
He'll help.
Can I ask, is it like oils, water? What you doing?
No idea.
Just
paint.
curious.
Charcoal?
So that'd be a good question of that. So we can put that on the flyer maybe,
Yeah,
because I didn't know there was a difference.
Okay.
Like, is it graffiti, like you spray can?
I thought it's a little thing you get fresh in the water, touch the color.
colors and numbers.
Yeah.
I should suggest like different, like a barn setting or like a winter or spring, whichever season we want to go with. But she said she can do up some samples or has some previous samples we can pick from, or I'll get something either tonight or tomorrow and email it out to everyone.
It just reminds me of Bob Wood from way back when. And this little friend is gonna live right here.
I remember who you mean. Yep. The guy from Mattawa,
Was he? I didn't know where he was from.
for sure, he was from Mattawa. Okay, if that's covered, would you want to touch on the Easter egg hunt for April? What we might have plans for that event? Any ideas?
Yeah, I think that's why it was on there, just to get some ideas flowing of what you would like to see or what, in case we have to start the ball early.
Yeah. So first off, I think, where are you gonna have it? You gonna have it at the park or have it over here at the community center? I think at the park would be better. It's a little more central. So fair for everybody to go there than that, but it's just out there to see what everybody's interested in doing.
I think the park makes the most sense.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the park makes the most sense too. My question for the whole Easter egg hunt thing is it actually going to be Easter eggs and the kids just run around and grab whatever they can get, or is it gonna be like a scavenger hunt and then there's packages for each kid at the end of it kind of thing? So I've just seen in the past, like you go to an Easter egg hunt, and there's one kid that has everything, because he just runs around, they push the small kids down and like stuff like that, and it's just, there's always, in a situation like that, there always seems to be one or two kids that are upset and feel left out.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was like the hunt, what you're hunting for isn't actually what you're taking home.
Yeah.
You
So I
just
guess one
turn
of the
that
questions
in.
is, would this be a sign up thing, like the kids' Christmas party and?
It pretty much
It-
helps, you know.
Yes, what we've done in the past is we've signed up. And then we have a certain amount of bags with Easter goodies in it. And then because they've signed up, we get other items like the plastic eggs that we fill up. So maybe there's 3 out there per child in the hunt itself with their names on it. So they
Mhm.
have to go hunting for the eggs with their name. So that way everybody gets the same amount.
Yeah.
If that's the way you want to do it this time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, like, I just,
That seems cool.
yeah, I don't want to see any little kids upset at the end of it.
Yeah.
No.
I know other places have done like age groups.
Yeah, different
Little
zones.
guys, you
and-
go first. You get, 20 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, because they find an egg and they just sit and look at it for 10 minutes.
Add to the Easter egg hunt about, like, could you do like a little craft station? Is that a possibility?
Yes, we've done that in the past too, where we've had a 2 or 3 craft stations. Kind of
Yeah.
keeps them busy, and then it ends with the hunt with with the eggs with their names on them.
If you have a craft station, like you could do coloring or something, and then they can get a chocolate bunny or something for.
Yeah, we've also decorated, we bought the cookies, and then the kids have decorated them, with an Easter theme.
Yeah, Steph just come up with the thing they used to do when I was a kid is dip the egg in the food dye or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
No,
They're hard boiled, right?
I wouldn't want to do the blowing up like 600 eggs. Oh, man. Pardon me.
Okay. I've forgotten all that stuff.
So that then we probably have to start at the beginning of March. To start planning now
yeah,
and have a cutoff date, maybe like beginning of April or something, then that'll give you enough time to
Make our
source
bags.
everything out, make the bags. Have a little map on where everything's going.
True. Well, it's a start anyways.
Is anybody want to look after that? Like, is there gonna be?
Steph,
Me, I do. I want to help. I don't know how to, but yes, I would like to help with that one.
okay,
I'll
You-
help with something if somebody tells me what they've done.
There you go.
Help with, you know.
we'll chip in.
Yeah, it sounds like you had 3 people here.
Okay.
Kathy and Shelley.
we'll leave that go for now. Budget items. Anybody have any suggestions for the budget? Because I believe me and Liz are going Friday to go over our budget at the office.
I know we had talked before about the bathrooms and change rooms at the beaches. Is that something that we should be budgeting for this year, or is there another plan in motion?
Not that I'm aware of.
So I know it was brought up at the one meeting that they're in pretty rough shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know if we should be getting pricing, and looking at different options for replacing them, or starting to budget for the replacement of them.
I think we should look at what they would cost to replace Sean and budget them for the following year.
Okay,
That would be my suggestion. I don't know what everybody else thinks.
If you hang tight until item number 6 under new business number 2, we can touch on
Yeah.
that.
Okay, good. All right.
If that's okay.
Yep.
Anything else for the,
what about our sign for the park?
I think we could try to see what's available there. I agree
I'm sorry,
that
what was that?
the sign in the park is kind
Oh,
of,
yes.
it should just come down and maybe look into replacing it.
Especially if we're gonna start doing events there, like.
So there's a
something.
template.
I was gonna say, didn't we talk about the sign like 3 meetings ago?
We did talk about it for the digital sign, but then
But that was-
it was part of the
That was
grant.
part of the grant.
We got the grant, so it was sort of put on the back burner.
No, this would be part of it, but are you gonna put the ability to put letters and stuff?
No, or my recommendation would be no, because it is a high sign. So we have to get the ladder up and change it. So we do have them at the community center, the fire hall. If you guys choose to, but I would suggest not to.
Yeah.
But
We don't need to put it as high as we've been putting it, do we?
you don't have to, no. Or we can put it on the building, like we don't have to put it in the corner.
That's what I thought, Will. Couldn't we just take that off there and put it on the building?
That would, yeah.
That seems to make more sense to me.
And what we could do is we could even put it on a little bit of an angle, so it kind of faces out toward the road, just not straight.
Right.
The sign that's there is in disrepair. I don't think it's really salvageable.
Because we're hoping to maybe kind of standardize, like keep all the township office sign and eventually, as we replace signs, keep them all kind of standardized.
Yeah.
Right.
Themes.
Because then you can just make tabs like Heritage Park tab and then
Yeah.
put it on the.
I can, I'll email that out with the questionnaire. I'm gonna send it tonight or tomorrow morning, if you like.
I think, I don't remember, we're pretty good for gym equipment right now. I don't think there's anything in disrepair that I know of.
We had talked about replacing a couple of pieces, but we didn't want to do it during COVID because of the warranty. If it wasn't being used and then, a year later, the warranty's over and it sits there and something's wrong with it, we would have lost our warranty. So, Will, do you know what those pieces were?
Not offhand, sorry, I didn't, I have it in the folder for budget and the other thing, I didn't bring that folder with me. But
Okay, look,
I was speaking to a gentleman today and he asked about a stair climber. And he said about the treadmills, I guess there's 4 treadmills down there.
yes.
And he's never seen 4 people on the treadmill. So he said if maybe, because he noticed the one broke, maybe in the next one, maybe we might want to look at another piece of equipment instead of replacing the treadmill. And that's where he,
Well, honestly, anytime I've used the gym, the treadmills are the most popular. Maybe because of COVID, he's not seeing a lot of use on them, but during the day, those treadmills are used. And some of them don't work. And I think those are, we might have had to replace one or two of them. So perhaps that's what he's seeing. But I feel that the treadmills are one of the most popular pieces in there.
Okay. As far as I know, everything works. They were all inspected before we reopened. Everything there works right now. So his suggestion was stair climber. So I just threw it in a file for later on.
Okay. Well, I think we need to take a look at the equipment down there. Maybe before Friday to see if everything is working properly.
Yeah, I can, I'll get together with Randy early this week and
Okay,
take some pictures and stuff before Friday.
okay, great.
Send the questionnaire out to the members of the gym and ask, hey, what the members want to see in the gym.
What they use, yeah.
Because I know eons ago when I went there, I kind of thought the same thing as that gentleman. There's 4 treadmills that hardly get used in the spin bike. Like there's a lot of the same stuff and a lot of variety, I guess.
Yeah, well, we can, maybe that's what to do, send a survey out to the membership. What would you use and what don't you use? And
If it
What
comes
would you
back
like
that
to
no one
have?
says anything, then we're doing all right. But if you get a bunch of people saying the same thing, that's maybe what we need to look going towards.
yeah. The last one was the dishwasher. And
So we've taken the dishwasher all apart. Everything seems to be in working order, but we're still having a problem. So we're gonna contact the company to find out cost versus repair versus replacement. And we'll bring that forward.
whenever we get somebody to come look at it. Okay. I guess then we move on to new business. And the first one on the thing is the playground. The RFP. I'm
So-
assuming everybody's gotten it or seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the RFP is gonna go through council tomorrow night, and on the closing date, we'll arrange for a meeting after that. We'll go over all the entries that come back, submissions, and then we can go from there to present to council recommendations, and if that all works for everybody.
Will, did you say that there was an end date when we had to have the equipment in? Does the grant say that?
Yes, there is. There's a beginning, start date and end date. And I believe, I'm just looking to see if it was on here. If not, it's in
It
the.
was, I think it was August something. wasn't
Yeah, I
it?
believe it's August 31st or something like that.
Okay.
Do we have like a group of pre-vetted people for that to be sent to, or how do you guys actually do RFPs?
So it goes out on our website, it goes, and then Merck's picks it up.
Yep.
And then we can also send it out to people. So if you know somebody that would be interested, we can send it out to them. If not, we just kind of look for local companies and other municipalities that have used people. But
Okay.
most places look at Merck's.
Yeah, I've been part of doing lots of submissions to Merck's before in terms of bidding, not necessarily that. So I understand that.
All right, if that's all we have for that, we'll wait to see what comes in. Number 2 is recreation questionnaire. Will's name.
So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna send out a questionnaire for a strategic plan for facilities and programming, and we're asking for the committee's input. It'll be input questions on the community center, the fitness center, Heritage Park and the outdoor rink, Wolf Lake and Link Beaches, That's where the change rooms and stuff would come in. Chapman's Landing Dock and McClobby Lake Boat Ramp. To find out, we like to get a strategic plan going for the next 10 years. So as the grants come up or things come up, we can have it all ready to go in a file and we'll be able to apply for them. Keep it in mind so we can bring it to council. So say the change rooms and stuff, we look at it this year for the 2023 budget. We have it all ready to go. So what we're gonna ask is we're gonna send this out tonight or tomorrow morning. And if we could talk about it at the next meeting to kind of get a game plan, and then we can submit it. If everybody's okay with that.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 questions to each category. What we like to see done and. So we're hoping to do this actually for every department. So we'll have it ready on file for any grants or anything that might come up.
Yeah.
So it
Are
doesn't
you, Will, do you have the museum involved in that too?
There will be one sending out to the museum. I'm not sure if it's going to be done tomorrow or earlier next week.
Will that be separate from this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one here is strictly for the rec committee. Then there'll be
Okay.
one for the museum.
All right.
Does anyone know how bad the change rooms actually are at the beaches? Like, are those inspected before they're open, or?
Well,
When I drive by the one at Wolf Lake, it looks pretty rough.
So they are getting rough. They haven't been open for 2 years.
I'm where I'm getting at is like the safety of, like, are they
Structurally
structurally still
sound?
sound? Because I know like Wolf Lake, I think they're built over septic tanks.
Yeah, so we are going to double check that
How long have they
in
been?
case
with
we
the
can
concrete?
reopen them in 2022.
Okay,
But they are in need of.
but yeah, it's just my concern with dealing with septic flow. You start to see a lot of the concrete tanks degrading over time.
Yeah, so
And if
the
that's
the
happening-
tanks were pumped out and inspected in 2020, I believe it was.
Okay.
And they were both in good shape at that time. Anybody else have anything?
And is there any other new business that we need or we're missing?
I have an idea.
Okay.
Now it's out there, and I get it, and it's very possibly not doable. But could we do like soccer? Sorry, I'm sorry. Could we do like a soccer, you know how Boston and used to have it, but Calendar has it, no, maybe East Ferris, I don't know. In North Bay, they have soccer teams. Is that something we can do? Do we have the area for it? Is it an option? I feel like there's lots of families who would love that option.
But they have a soccer program?
Yeah.
Liz, Chris, did you guys hear that?
Yes.
I heard it. There's
Okay.
lots of room at the park to have a soccer program, lots of room. We used to
Yeah.
have baseball programs there years ago.
Yeah, I know there's tons of interest in Powassan. People are always asking about Powassan. Where can I go for leagues? I think even on today on what's happening
Yeah.
Powassan, people were asking like, oh, you could go to Astorville, and then the Astorville people are like, no, only local people. So I think
Yeah.
we'd be able to draw from a wide range of areas beyond just
Yeah.
ours, because I don't know
I've-
if we'd have enough people, just our own community.
No, we wouldn't, but I think Restool people would come out.
Yep.
Commanda, maybe even the Argyle end, I'm not sure.
I know
Somebody's got to
some-
take the lead on it though, and we'd
I
have
know-
to start advertising now for it.
Yeah. I-
What would we be thinking, like different age groups, one age group, or
Different
just
age
open?
groups, 3 different age groups with how many teams, I don't know how many people would sign up.
Okay.
And maybe a lower price, like registration fee than some of the other ones, just to kind of cover costs.
What are the age groups? Do you know what that?
I was thinking 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and then 10 to 12. That way skill level, it would all kind of work. It would be fair. It's hard when you're on the younger end. And then the thing that I would feel slightly stressed about is volunteers for coaches and refs. But it would also work for volunteer hours, right, for high school students.
what would the volunteers need? Would they need special training, coach?
I don't think
Training or
so.
anything like that? Like I know hockey, you have to have certain training or stuff, don't you?
This would just be for fun though, like it would be competitive. I know Blossom didn't keep score. It wasn't competitive, it was just to get the kids out and get the basic knowledge of the game. It was a lot of parents volunteering. And then I was thinking we could do a canteen, possibly, I mean, it might be too much. And then whatever proceeds we can raise, we can throw into the end of the year party for soccer and have it maybe 8 weeks, once every whatever day. And then, so I don't want it to take up everybody's summer, but it'd be something nice to get the kids out to and socialize and get
So-
involved in.
Except for the obvious, like soccer nets, what else would you need to
Balls.
soccer balls, yeah? All soccer nets, like would you have to have the field painted?
So I would assume so.
We could
That's what
chalk
we did
line
last
it.
year.
Chalk it.
Cause I know you can rent that from, what's Burroughs downtown,
Oh, girls is it?
yeah,
That's very-
they have that available to use. Or rent. So you put the powder down.
What,
So we just have to mark it out. And
Yeah.
chalk lines.
what kind of fees would this be?
I think when I registered the girls, it was like $40 per child, or you can do like sibling rates, and that included the jerseys. And it just covered the fees for what they did. I don't know exactly how they ran it, but I feel like that's something doable that we could do as long as we have the volunteers, because that way I think is the most stressful part. Everybody has lives and they get that, and to coach and to ref, when you need 2 volunteers per game, at least 3, because there's 2 coaches on each team. But I think it would go over well. I think people would really enjoy it. And I'd be all on board to sit down and do the report.
I'd be willing to help. I don't think I'd qualify as a coach, but
I think you've got people out there, right? So I will tell you that you would get Carissa on that field, no problem. She used to play soccer like a ninja. Like
I would
so-
help you with the prep
She
and
would
stuff.
help.
but I
yeah, like I
don't
can
know
help
the
with
soccer.
that. Yeah, I
It's
don't.
like I'd be
I
willing
don't
to
know
help.
the rules.
I'd be like Sean, I'd be willing to help set the field and stuff up, but besides that, I know nothing. with soccer.
Because, I mean, that's all we did prior to coming here. So when Carissa was in the gym, that's where you could put Christopher in charge of that canteen, because that's all we did. He ran the canteen for the gymnastics club full time. And it was all like back to year end party, right? And that's
Sorry,
what we
Liz,
did.
you said I would have to start advertising soon. Are you saying like March or April or sooner than that?
For what? For the soccer?
Yeah,
Yeah, ASAP. I mean, so it's you're looking for teams. You need a certain amount and then volunteers on top of that. So
so is this something we could gather up more information and bring back the first meeting in March? Or would this have to be done in February?
I think you'd be
No.
too late if you did it longer, but I mean, I've been a part of actually a lot of different leagues starting up and things, and I don't know if jumping right into like the full-on jersey, have teams kind of league is the right way to go. What often happens is you like pick a night, and that's when you have like pick up soccer, and whoever shows up that week, and you start to collect a register of names, and you start to really kind of get it friendly, so that if one team's short, like that's what your biggest problem is, right? If you have just enough people on a team, a couple people don't show up, then you're not really having a game. But if you have it so that if you have to play 6-on-6 or 5-on-5 a couple of nights as opposed to the full 11-on-11, there's different ways to get people kind of really organized and start to culminate what could become a league. But I don't know if I jump right into like the full-on league year one, because again, all these other issues with finding coaches, finding volunteers, getting it all organized. But I think if we started to think about, okay, if we got a couple of soccer nets, start there and building out a thing. Like I've played with people that are all Ontario soccer players. I know all the rules and everything. I'm a huge soccer fanatic, so I'd be certainly willing to help kind of get something going. But I think going full on league is a little much at this rate.
So here I am. I know.
yeah, good idea. Good idea.
If we do make teams, ask people to register, do the whole league idea, that means people will have to commit, which will mean that they'll show up. And with kids, I find that we can't necessarily do like a pickup take league because of the age gaps. A 4-year-old and a 7 or an 8-year-old, that's not going to be fine for either one, because someone's going to have to be maybe a little bit more careful, or someone's going to get hurt. And if we do the registrations and a league style, at least that way, we know that they'll have their age group and their team. If we're short on some teams, maybe we could combine a couple teams in that age category, but it would be more structured.
Yeah, I know at one point, the church at Tilcomb Road there, they used to have a soccer night at their field. And it was just little kids from the area went.
I think Calista actually went to that.
So
My fear with doing the pickup soccer night is if a family goes out one night and there's only 2 people there,
Yeah.
they're not coming back the next time.
Yeah.
Because they pack their kids in the car, they've got their kids excited, you're going to soccer, and you get there and you're the only family there, and it's like,
Yeah.
I could have done this in the backyard. Whereas like you say, if it's, we use the term league, but it's not a competitive league, it's just, it gives the kids a sense of teamwork. And
We don't have to do jerseys. We don't want to. But how do you do?
I think the first step, I know we'd have to get it going, but I think the first step before we advertise that we're trying to start would be seeing if we have the volunteers to do it. Because if we don't have enough people, it's like, yeah, we're gonna have a soccer league, and then, oh, sorry, guys. We don't have,
We could have a lot of volunteers. Fire departments could get volunteering.
You can ask them.
No, but even we have a lot of kids in high school, right? A lot of there's arenas, and
yeah,
there's
maybe
a lot of
there's,
those kids who I feel like would be gunning for those hours in a fun community way. I can get the ball rolling like ASAP. I can get things done. We can do sign-up sheets to see how everyone feels about it in the community. We can have all that sort of stuff going real soon before the meeting in March if we want to.
Well, Steph, with that kind of passion, I would say go for it.
Okay.
So I'll help you out. We'll get the ball rolling. Then you'll have plenty
there's
of
no sticks
volunteers.
in soccer, is there? No fighting.
Maybe Shelley seems to have some connections, maybe she can jump on with it.
Okay, I'm all yours. I have plenty of time now.
She seems to have all the connections and kids that know about it, so, and I'll help you with all the advertising and all that kind of
We'll
stuff.
play together.
The nets.
Okay.
I wrote it down for a budget item,
Okay.
and I'll get some pricing before Friday.
Yeah, because I know the ones in calendar, we had 2 different sets. So there were like the kids sets, and there was just ABS pipe glued together, and then a net on the back. I don't know if we could buy them or we make them, or
It's on my to-do list for tomorrow morning to look for you.
Could we store that in the ice shack shed with it?
We can store it in that or the Quonset hut, I'm sure.
That's what
I'm
it
sure
is.
they're- Actually, yeah, we could store it in the ice rink because it's not open in summer, so. Yeah. All right, sounds like you got another job. Yep.
is there any other new business? Hearing none, we go to the bottle drive.
And actually, that brings up a good point. That funding could be used for that, to help with that too, actually, because that's what it's there for. So we picked up on January 22nd at both locations, and we brought in $442.35. And I apologize, I do not have a total. I forgot to grab it today. I will have one for next meeting for a total, or I can email it if everybody wants it.
Just to let everybody know, it was the coldest day of the year doing that job.
I think we got it done pretty quick.
We did.
It was a great group effort. for everybody. So, to me, I think that's what that funding's for, so I think that'd be a great starting off point. If the committee, wants to use some of that, or
It's there to be used, not to be stored. Okay,
We did decide to go with jerseys. Is that something that the rec committee would be purchasing, or would we look to sponsors to sponsor teams?
It could be both. It could be local companies in the area that want to sponsor a team. I know when we did Boston, that was part of our fee, right, was to pay for the jersey. And it was compared to all the other sports out there, I mean, it's definitely affordable for a family, especially a couple kids, to pay the X amount of dollars and have everything included. And it gives good local advertising for some of the companies in the area. I know that the companies in the area though are really generous, so I wouldn't want to keep going at them for every opportunity, but we could have the registration fee to cover for the jerseys if we wanted to go jersey boot. If we don't, we don't. And I mean, that's not going to affect the kids.
just throwing out,
Just do,
could you do t-shirts for the first year or two?
yeah, or just do, you know, like colors, right? We can buy the vests and that team, you're yellow, you're red, and away you go.
pullovers.
But
That
that's
kind
not
of thing,
the
right?
$5, like t-shirts that make with the, you know,
Yeah.
like, you get the kid size, it's $5, that fee.
Maybe
whatever
just a
it's
start off point,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
just something to differentiate the two.
And if we can always write down numbers, we can paint, stencil, like, there's lots, we got lots going here. There's lots of things.
Let the kids decorate their shirts on the first night, get to know each other.
That'd be cute.
They all have their own jerseys.
Tie-dye.
Yeah.
All right, the next meeting,
So the first Monday in March would be the 7th. If you're looking at March, sorry. Or the 14th is the next Monday, which is,
The Monday before the paint night.
I like March 7th.
yeah, we'll stick with what's working so far, I guess. Everybody's agreement, March 7th, 7 o'clock.
Yep.
We'll put it out to a vote for adjournment. I need a mover and a seconder. Kathy and Sean. All in favor?
Yes.
And thank you so much, everybody, for your input and for making this your time available.
sorry, just one more quick question. Is everybody okay with the Zoom in-person combo? Would you want to keep that going?
I like
Yeah.
it.
I
Okay.
like it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, good